Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to be showing you tools right away. So somebody had asked me if this is going to be interactive. It can certainly be interactive if you choose to make it interactive. Otherwise, you can just listen and follow along. There's nothing in here that is urgent that you have to be interactive with. You can just listen and watch everything as well. So just a little bit of background. For me, my name is, oops, sorry. Sorry, I just want to move this over so I can see it better. So, my name is Connie Sarvananthan, and I am My name is Connie Sarvananthan, and I am a manager with Remax Hallmark here in Aurora, which is a suburb of Toronto. And about 7 months ago, I started playing around with AI, and I just started really liking it and discovering all the tools that I could use with it, and then just doing some research. And then as I started using it, I was telling different realtors about it. And I have friends who work for all different brokerages across North America. And they started asking me to show them different things. So I created this course. I started showing it internally at my brokerage, and then I started to open it up. So that's how we ended up here today. This is broker agnostic. Everybody's here. I met some people online in Clubhouse and others I know throughout the industry, but that's how you're all here. If you have any questions for me after this, this is my contact information. And then also, if you want a recording of this or a prompt sheet afterwards, just there's a Google Doc that I'll put in the chat. You just click on those and it just asks for your name and your email, and we'll send you those. It's going to be later on this week if you want the recording of this. So with that, this is an introduction to AI. If you are an active user of AI, I think this may be rudimentary for you, but I think you may actually learn some new things, but this was really meant to be an introduction. I am going to be doing a 2.0 version probably in the next month or so, where we're going to get much more deeper into the tools. So we just need to step back and frame artificial intelligence a little bit. So what exactly is artificial intelligence? If you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. But here's what I will say. My definition of artificial intelligence is, it is machines or something other than human learning, which is the artificial part, and then responding in a way that is human-like. That's the intelligence part. So it's machines that are responding in a human-like way, so artificial intelligence. So that's where it comes from. So why has it become so popular right now? Prior to October 2022, artificial intelligence had been around. They even say it was used in World War II. However, for the last 20 years, only big companies, rich companies, and the government have had access to it. And you've been using artificial intelligence. So when you do things like when you're writing an email and it spell corrects for you, or it finishes a sentence for you, or you use Face ID, that's all artificial intelligence. But what happened in October 2022 is ChatGPT launched. And ChatGPT, it's called a large language model. Other versions of large language models are like Google's Bard or Claude. It launched. And by launching, when it did, it opened up the floodgates to artificial intelligence to the general public. So now all of a sudden we have access to it, but more importantly, we have access to it in a way that's cheap or free. And so all the tools I'm going to show you today, I have purposely made them either free or very low cost so that you can use them right away. But the barrier to entry was broken when ChatGPT launched. Interestingly enough, Google has probably done the most research on artificial intelligence, and they decided not to launch because they had some safety concerns. But then once ChatGPT launched, everybody's launched. So now there are thousands and thousands of artificial intelligence tools that are available for people. So just FYI there. So what are the risks with using AI tools? So two things I want to tell you about, just to keep in mind as we're doing everything, especially when you're doing things like ChatGPT. First of all, the data is from January 2022. So if you are doing things that require data that's more recent, there are ways to do that. We're not going to cover off that here. It's with things called extensions or with APIs, which is things that you add to ChatGPT or the like to get more recent data. But what the data is currently is up until January 2022. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty good for most real estate stuff, but if you need very specific data that's recent, like housing market stats from 2023, you can't rely on ChatGPT as it is alone. You would have to put in some sort of plugin for that information. But most of the stuff that I'm going to show you today doesn't require that kind of data, so it's not going to be a problem. The second thing I want to tell you about is hallucinations. So the goal of artificial intelligence is to answer your questions. And when it can't answer your questions, sometimes it makes things up. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Again, if it's something that's, real estate related, it's generally not an issue. But there's a big case right now where there's a lawyer. So ChatGPT is great for law. It apparently can pass the bar on its own, and it's really great at taking big documents and narrowing it down. However, there was a lawyer in the US who used ChatGPT for a case where his client was on a flight and his client's knee got hit by a drink cart. And so his client was suing the airline. And so this lawyer used ChatGPT to do his research, and ChatGPT came up with like 3 precedent-setting cases of other airlines being sued for the same thing. And when he presented this in court, you found out that ChatGPT made up those 3 precedent-setting cases. So that's where I say, if you're ever using any of this and it's very specific data or it's for something important, you always have to check the data to make sure that it's correct. And especially when you're doing things like law, you want to really make sure that those cases exist. And if you Google that, you can see it. Just do ChatGPT lawyer fake cases, and it's a Forbes article is the first one that comes up, but there's several that talk about this. And the lawyer just didn't understand that ChatGPT could produce false information, and so that was his defense. But I don't think he's going to get away with it. So that's that. Okay, so let's get right into the information I want to show you. So we're going to cover off a few different things today. We're going to cover off the Snapseed app, which is photo editing. We're going to do Try It On AI, which is headshots, which are AI generated. We're going to do Canva. So Canva has magic tools. That's their AI. And they keep launching new AI tools. So we're going to cover off 4 of the ones that are pretty basic there. We're going to cover off ChatGPT and what you can do, research, writing, and editing. We're going to cover off the Gamma app, which is what I'm showing you in this presentation right now. And then we're going to do reimaginehome.ai. Reimaginehome.ai is it's something you can use for your photo listings. So it's like doing box brownie on your own. And so we're going to cover off each of those. And before we get there, I'm just going to get out of this and I'm going to screen share with you my phone for the first one. So the first one is an app that you can get on both Android and on so you can get this on both Android and on iOS, and it's called Snapseed. So Snapseed is an app, which is a photo editing app. So what you do with this app, oh, can you guys see this? I just realized you can't see this. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to close this out and reopen it so you can see. So this is the app. It's called Snapseed, and you can download it on iOS or on Android. So it's a photo editing app. It's free. I have a photo editing app that I've paid for like $50, and this is just as good, if not better. So when you go into Snapseed, let's take a picture. So we're going to just take a picture of me. I'm going to do a selfie. Okay, and we're going to use this picture. So I want to show you what we can do with Snapseed. So first of all, these are all the different filters you could use for Snapseed. So, if you want to clean up the zits, if you want to make it funky, if you want it black and white, there's all different options with Snapseed. Okay, but we're just going to keep the current. And then when you go into tools on Snapseed, so sorry, I should go back. So looks, tools, export. So tools on Snapseed, there's all these different things you could do with Snapseed. So you could hit grunge and it'll create that. You can hit vintage and it'll create different vignettes for vintage. You could hit frames to get different frames around your photo. So that's all the photo editing app. But what I want to show you from a AI standpoint is head pose. So when you click on head pose, the head pose makes you able to move the face around so that if you're not necessarily looking exactly where you want to be, you can move your head. And the beauty of this is it keeps the original picture intact. So you can move it around, you can move the eyes and everything else. So a friend of mine who sent me some pictures because her eyes were crossed in it. So we changed the look of it so that she wasn't actually looking at the picture the way she was. So this is a picture she sent me. And what we did is we played around with it. It's not ideal, but we played around with it so her eyes wouldn't look so crossed. So hold on one second. So this is the head pose. And so we just like moved her eyes around so that it didn't look so crossed. So it's just kind of a cool way to play around with pictures, especially if you're not fully looking at the camera. It just gives you some choices. So again, that's called Snapseed, and it's a free app and anybody can use it. And also for the editing stuff, it's really great, which is one of the best things that if you have pictures that you want to edit, it's just a really easy way to edit things. So that's Snapseed. So the next one we're going to look at is a product called, sorry. So the next one we're going to look at is a product called Try It On AI. Okay, so Try It On AI is a headshot generator. And the way that it works is you upload some selfies of yourself, and then it generates headshots for you. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because, first of all, it costs $17 US. So it's about $22 Canadian. And it's really an affordable way to get headshots done if you are in a rush. So sorry, I'm just going to stop sharing and then I'm going to start sharing again with just that one open tab. So it's not so busy. Perfect. Okay, so what you do is you upload a bunch of selfies. So these are the selfies that I uploaded of myself, right? And if I was to redo this again, first of all, I only uploaded 10 selfies. It asks you to upload 20. So you can do, like I did some while sitting on a couch, and then I uploaded like pictures of myself. But what I did, if you can see by the selfies that I did, they're all like me just facing the front. If I was to redo this again, I would do side, I would do down, I would do up, I would like just get so that the AI can capture my whole face. So think about it like when you're doing, you know, when you're doing your Face ID and it asks you to move around, just do that. So it gets every angle, every image, all of that. Anyway, so what you do is you upload 10 to 20 images, and then you pick your styles that you want. So it'll tell you, you can pick, you know, you can pick business, or you can pick sexy or glamorous or whatever style you want. And it'll create the headshots based on what you're telling it to do. Now, because I was doing this as a test, I picked every style. I asked for sexy, I asked for business, I asked for inside, I asked for outside. If I was to redo this again, which I actually probably will do, I would just stick to one or two styles so that I have a lot more variety. And so I uploaded my 10 selfies, again, do 20. Again, don't have it like mine, which is straight ahead. Have a bunch of different styles. But this is the result of my AI photo shoot. So this came about 24 hours after I did this. And I would say there's like 100 pictures that it sent you 100 pictures. Of that 100 pictures, there's probably 10 that I would use. There's probably 20 that don't look like me at all or are really weird. And the rest are somewhere in between. But even to have one or two for 20 bucks, it was worth it. And to try this out, it was worth it. So let me show you what the pictures are. So some of them look like me and some of them are legit. Like these ones actually look like me. I'm not really sure when I'm going to use a feather boa picture, but you never know. And then there's others that like, that doesn't really look like me. Some of these look like me, some of them don't. My kids were horrified by this one because it created cleavage, and, you know, they were all like, this is completely inappropriate. And so like I said, some of these look like me, some of them don't. Some of them gave me like double teeth, some of them didn't. And again, remember, I picked every single style, right? So I did business, I did sexy, I did all of that. But for, you know, for 20 bucks, this is what I got. And there's definitely shots in here that I can use. But I think if I did a better job of uploading my image, the 20 images, I think I would have gotten better pictures. So some of these are definitely ones that I could use. So that's all from Try It On AI. Okay, so again, the website is called tryitonai.com. So I'm just going to go to the chat real quick just to make sure. I take that picture. Thank you. My friends are in here. They're all, I have some amazing agent friends that are all very kind. My kids were not as kind. It's $20 each time, yes, to give you 100 shots. What if you have different glasses? Interesting. I think I would try on a few different glasses. Hi, Rhonda. This is a great option for headshots. Yes. And people have asked me, do you think this is better than doing live headshots? Absolutely not. That's not true. I've seen some terrible headshots from live photographers too. But if you get a good photographer, then I think those could be a little bit more genuine. And by the way, Try It On AI is just one of the headshot generators. There's lots of them. So recognize that you can go to different companies and do this. I just picked them because they were affordable. And I thought, even if they suck, you know, it's $20, I don't really care, but it was a lot of fun to do. And I would totally do it again. Okay. And by the way, I will continue to check the chat here and there, just so we keep on track, but I'm not going to be there all the time. Okay. So that's that. Let's go back to the presentation. Sorry. Okay. So next up, we have Canva. Okay, so I'm going to have to stop sharing again so that I can get into Canva. So by the way, all of you, I've done this presentation about 5 times, and you guys are going to see the latest version of Canva, and I'm actually going to share with you some of the new tools that Canva just launched, which is pretty wild, actually. So hold on, Canva, share. Okay, so Canva, I love Canva, and okay, so if you have Canva free, you can't necessarily do some of the things I'm going to show you. However, Canva has a 14-day trial that you can try all of this stuff with. So do the 14-day trial. And if you like it, get a 1-month subscription to Canva. I think it's $12 American and $15 Canadian. And I bought it for the year and it was 150 Canadian, which is like $3 American. It's not, but you know, it's very affordable. And I would say of all the tools that I am showing you, Canva is the one that I use the most. And when I do part 2 of this, I'm going to show you how you can like create a ton of social media tools in a very short amount of time, like less than a half an hour, by bulk loading stuff. So I definitely think the Canva is worth it, but you can do this without having the paid version of Canva for now, just by doing the free trial. Okay. So what I want to show you in Canva is Canva's AI tools are called Magic. So when you create a design, I'm just going to do an Instagram post just because it's easy, and I'm not actually going to do an Instagram post. I'm just using it for this demonstration. So if you get an image for Canva, so this is my nephew at his that's what I want to use. No, actually, I'm going to use a different one. So this is, for those of you that know my friend Connie Campbell, this is her son and her grandson. So we're going to use this. So you could pick any picture. So there's a couple of things you could do in Canva. So what you do is you hit edit photo, and then these are the tools over here. And anything that says Magic are their AI tools, as well as their background remover. So the first thing you can do with any photo is you can remove the background. So when you hit background remover, it just removes the background. So this is particularly great if you want like a headshot for LinkedIn or a headshot for, social media where you just want the white background and your outline. That's what background remover does. Okay. So the other thing that, so that's background remover. The next one that it has is called Magic Eraser. And so what Magic Eraser does is you highlight what you want to remove from the picture, and then it takes it out. So when Connie sent me this, she loves this picture of her son and her grandson, but she didn't like these 2 randos in the picture. So what you do is you highlight them. Okay. And again, this is called Magic Eraser. So the first guy's gone. second guy's gone. Now, as you can see with the second guy, it didn't fully get that all of it. But there you go. So that's what Magic Eraser does. And where you can really use it in real estate is if you, like one of my agents in my office, I showed them how to do this. And she did it for, she had this car. Sorry, hold on. She had this image of a listing she had with this truck in the middle. And then she used Magic Eraser and she took out the truck. So that's where it's really handy for listing photos, things like that. Like, let's say you have a listing photo where they're, you know, they have some random, I don't know, weird picture on the wall. You could take that out. You know, her removing the car from the front. How many times have we done listing photos and the owner forgets the car in the front? She removed it. So remember, this is what it looked like before. And then this is it after. And, you know, some people will say, well, it's not perfect. I was like, nobody notices. Nobody notices if the shadows aren't perfect or whatever. And how much better does this second photo look than this first photo, right? So it's a pretty powerful, easy tool to use. Okay, so that's that. So the next one I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick David. So David's one of our managers, but he's got a good thing. So again, every time you just hit edit photo and the tools come up here, right? So we did background remover, pretty straightforward. Magic Eraser, where you move different things. Magic Edit is there, it's in beta right now, but I just want to show you what you can do with Magic Edit. Now, sometimes, sorry, I screwed that up, so I just want to go back. Sometimes this is good, sometimes it's not. But when you hit Magic Edit, you are highlighting what you want to change, okay? And by the way, you can pick a different brush size if you have a big picture, or, you know, if I just wanted to change his tie, I wouldn't pick such a big brush size. And this is the brush size, right? So you could pick small or a big brush. But so I've highlighted what I want to change, okay? And then I hit continue, and then I tell it what I want it to do. Now I'm going to say that this isn't great yet. It's not great, but it's getting better. And I think in 3 months, it's going to be amazing. But I'm going to tell it to do a Hawaiian shirt. Okay, I'm telling it to generate that instead. So it's still captured some of the shirt in there, which I don't like. So I'm going to ask it to generate new results. It's still capturing his shirt for whatever reason. So what I would do in this case is I would just do magic erase to get this part out. But what you can see is, you know, it's given me several different versions of Hawaiian shirts where he has it. So the beauty of a tool like this is, let's say you have a headshot that you like, but you want to update it. So my friend Connie sent me a picture of herself and she had earrings and a necklace. So I took out the earrings, I took out the necklace with Magic Erase, and then we changed the shirt with Magic Edit. So all of these magic tools are available. The one thing you have to keep in mind, first of all, anything with a crown means you have to have a paid version. So just recognize that. But the other thing you should know is with magic, any of the magic tools, once you do one thing, like I can't go back in there and now do magic. Oh, this is new. You can. It never used to be this is as of today. It's letting me use the two tools together. So it's not perfect, but I think I can get it to that. And all of you are watching that right now, but you can now do the two tools together. Before, what you would have to do is save the picture with one edit tool and then go back and do something else. But as of today, you can now do them both together. So those are the ones that I always show everybody, but I'm going to show you one more that I haven't shown anybody else right now. You are the first group to see it, and it's this magic grab. So for that one, I am going to use my nephew for this. He was at some, oh, I think this is his grade 8 graduation or something. So what we're going to do is edit the picture, right? And Magic Grab, what Magic Grab does is it grabs the main part of your picture, and you're allowed to move it within the picture. So it's figuring out, okay, this is the main part of the picture. Now I could take him and move him throughout the picture if I want. Or if I was like, oh, I love this picture of him, but I wish he was bigger in the picture. And now he's bigger in the picture. So that's what Magic Grab does. That's brand new. They just launched it. I don't think I've Googled it, and I don't think even Canva has put out their information on it. I think it's going live October 6th, but you can do it within all of that. Okay, so those are all. Oh, there's one more magic tool that I have to show you. So before I do that, let me just check the chat. Is it 20? Yes. Terry, I don't know what the 120 means. Wires are good to Bluetooth. Strange that I don't see anything changed in the photo.
20 is US dollars, Connie, for the Canva paid for a year. Worth every penny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Good to know. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, the Magic Grab is pretty wild. And I don't even know what the other two are. I haven't, I tried to Google what they were before this meeting because they're brand spanking new, but they didn't say. So the last Canva tool, and by the way, Canva has, I think they already have 12 AI tools built in, and they're launching on October 6th a whole bunch more. So this, anybody who thinks that, you know, like this is AI is a passing fad, it is not. It is not at all. It's here to stay. And I don't think AI is going to replace agents, but I think agents that are using AI are going to be 10 times more efficient and 10 times more cost effective than agents that don't, because a lot of the tools I'm showing you right now, you would have paid somebody a lot of money to do. Like Box Brownie, I don't know what they charge, but I think they charge like $50 a picture and to, you know, remove stuff or edit stuff, and you can now do that on your own. So the last thing I wanted to show you is a tool called Magic Write. And so if you go into Docs in Canva, now I don't love this, but it gives you an option if you want to just stay within Canva for everything to do this. So what you do is you are going to use Magic Write to create this document. So what you do is you give it instructions. So write me 5 Instagram posts about staging for listing a house. Okay, I'm just giving it some generic instructions. And then this is what it does. So it's like ChatGPT, and it's actually powered by ChatGPT, but it's like post 1, staging your home before listing. It could help potential buyers envision themselves living in space. Consider adding a few accent pieces and decluttering to make your home feel spacious and inviting. Staging tips, home staging, real estate. I just wanted to show you that it's available within Canva. I actually think ChatGPT or Claude or a Google Bard is better at this, because you can, like, the problem with this is, how do I edit this? How do I get it to change it? Things like that. It's just a little bit more intuitive within those other platforms. But like I said, it's available. And if you just want to stick within Canva, this is available here. So that's the Canva Magic Write.
Connie, If
Yeah.
you ask it to give you pictures to go with that, will it give you pictures?
So I think that's what the new update is gonna show. Not yet, but I think the new update on October 6th is going to have pictures on top of that. Now, from this, I will say, I shouldn't say it doesn't give you anything. You can convert it into a presentation, but their presentations are pretty bland. To be quite honest, this isn't my favorite thing. Canva is so amazing at so many things, but this is one of my least favorites. So you can like, that's taking them and putting them into a presentation, but there's way better tools for this than this. I just wanted to show you what was possible because I do believe, because first of all, ChatGPT now has Canva built into it, so you can actually do that as a plugin and have it generate designs directly from ChatGPT. We're not going to be covering off that today, but I am going to show you that in 2.0. So I think that's the better way to go than doing a reverse of doing it within Canva. Canva is so much better for other design specific things that you can do. So just again, I just want to make sure everybody knows. So background remover, magic eraser. So background remover, pretty straightforward, takes away the background, right? Oh, it's not letting me do it. Oh, because I've already done a few things with it, but that's okay. So background remover takes away the background. Magic erase will take away a specific thing like the car back there. Magic edit will replace the shirt or the suit, the whatever. And magic grab will let you grab this individual piece and move it around. I meant to grab him and move him around. Okay. So those are the 4 tools. Grab text and magic expand. They haven't explained what those are. And I think that's going to be part of the October 6th launch. And then also, just so you know, within Canva, they also have all kinds of filters and intensity and you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with Canva. I'm not going to get into that. Myra, I see that you put down we have to do a Canva tutorial. I agree. But yeah. Okay, so it's funny, I have Canva Pro and Magic and not active for me at all. It keeps telling me Magic is coming. No, it should be active, Stacy. So I would contact Canva and ask them why if you have Canva Pro, it should be active. Anything with a crown, you should be able to use, but you actually have to be in the photo to activate it, but just make sure that, but if you're paying for Pro, it should 100% be part of it. AI is making over for 20 years. It's just now we're seeing the effects of what it's done. I'm loving every minute. Yeah. It's, the thing about AI is it's got a lot of great things. We as a society are going to have to figure out some of the bad things about AI. For example, there was a song from Drake that was recently there was a song that was released and everybody thought it was from Drake and The Weeknd. And you later found out it was somebody using AI mimicking their voices to create the song, and people thought it was them. So, that's going to be problematic. For example, from my bank, oh, can you guys hear me? Okay. My bank uses voice recognition. So if AI can mimic my voice just by hearing hours of my voice, that voice recognition is going to be problematic. So there's definitely issues that we're going to have to deal with as a society when it comes to dealing with AI, but it's here and we're going to have to figure out how we manage it because it's not going away. Okay, so that is Canva. So next up, we have ChatGPT. Okay. So let me pull up my ChatGPT. Oops, that's not it. Okay. So again, I'm going to screen share with all of you. Sorry, where's my ChatGPT? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Share. Okay. Okay. So ChatGPT. For those of you who have never used ChatGPT before, I am going to show you ChatGPT. So there's a free version called ChatGPT 3. Okay. And I would suggest if you've never used ChatGPT before, do the paid version is ChatGPT 4. ChatGPT 3 is great. And it will, you can use it for most of your stuff. You would only do 4 if you are finding that it's slow to use, because ChatGPT 4 users get preference as far as, getting into ChatGPT. But the bigger thing with ChatGPT 4, the paid version, is that you could start doing things called plugins. And plugins allow you to do more with ChatGPT. So the way I liken a plugin is ChatGPT is like the iPhone, and the plugins or the APIs are like the apps that go on the iPhone. It just makes it more efficient. So the plugins that I have, for example, is a PDF reader. So because I have the paid version, I have a plugin that allows me to send it a link for a PDF, and it will read that PDF and summarize it. Other plugins might be like a web plugin, so that, like I said, the data for ChatGPT only comes up until January 2022. If I want the data to be more frequent, I would do a plugin. But again, in order to do a plugin, you need the paid version. But what I'm going to show you today is all free, and the things that you don't have to necessarily worry about. Okay, so first things first with ChatGPT, remember, it's meant to answer your questions. So there are hallucinations. So if you're asking it something that is like very specific, just make sure you check it. And the second thing with ChatGPT is that the better your questions, the better your answers. Okay. And it's better to actually not do a question, but a command, than to just ask a general question. So and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. But the first thing I want all of you to know, and this is fairly new, and again, I have not taught this in any other group, but when you sign up for ChatGPT and you go by your name, there's a thing called custom instructions. Okay. If you go into the custom instructions, and what you can do is tell ChatGPT who you are. Okay. And by doing this, every time you ask ChatGPT a question, it's already going to know all this information about you. The beauty of this is, to get really good answers that are specific to you, you should really write this out every time you ask ChatGPT a question. However, by doing it in the custom instructions, it's going to have it there, sitting there. Now, you can always turn it off because it says enable for new chats. But if it's here, then you don't have to constantly say, hey, my name is Connie, I'm a real estate agent, I'm in Toronto, and I want da da da. So what I've put in my custom instructions is, my name is Connie Sarvanandan, I'm a real estate agent in Toronto, Canada. I like to explore the city, enjoy eating out, and the entertainment Toronto has to offer. I'm 50 years old. I lied a little there, and I have 2 teenagers, and we are a hockey family, and I'm a hockey mom. So that's what would ChatGPT like to know about me? And there's instructions on the side. Then, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? And I just put business casual, short, and positive. You can make it as detailed as you want. Okay. And then by doing that, every time I get a response, it's going to keep that in mind. So if I say, write me an Instagram post about the annex, neighborhood in Toronto. Okay. Now it's going to keep my custom instructions in mind when it writes this out. Okay. So, hey, Toronto friends and fellow explorers, today I want to take you on a journey through my favorite neighborhoods, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then what truly sets the end. And first of all, I want you to notice a couple of things. It took about 3 seconds for it to come up with a post about the annex. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is this Instagram post already has emojis and hashtags. And if I said, please add more emojis and hashtags. So now it's added more emojis and hashtags. So see the difference of when it originally, like, look at the hashtags alone. It's much more, okay? And again, it's writing it based on what I told it to do in my custom instructions. So now what I want to do is I want to take this off right now because I want to show you what it's like if you were to do it. Okay, so and that was all on ChatGPT 3.5. Okay, that is the free version. So you are when I say you don't need the paid version, you don't need the paid version. Now, without the custom instructions, it's not going to necessarily write in your tone, how you like it written, and all of that stuff. But that's okay because it doesn't necessarily have to all the time. But if you want it to be better, then the more instructions you give it, the better it will be. So I just want to show you though, what happens when you just use ChatGPT with no real customization, how good it is just on its own, right? So the first is write me an Instagram post about the top 5 neighborhoods in Toronto. And this can be Instagram, this can be write me a blog post, write me a whatever it could be. And if you're doing something that's and you know what I would add to this is that is SEO optimized. Okay, so let's see what it does. Okay, so discover Toronto's hidden gems, and it gives me 5 neighborhoods, top 5 neighborhoods that will steal your heart: Kensington Market, Distillery, Yorkville, Beaches, Queen West. Now, if I had 5 neighborhoods in mind that I wanted to say instead, because we have a gazillion neighborhoods in Toronto, I could just tell it, write me a post, an Instagram post that explores these 5 neighborhoods and why they're great. Okay, so this is fine, but I want to show you what the difference in tone is, right? So discover Toronto's hidden gems. These top 5 neighborhoods will steal your heart. Okay. Okay, so rewrite this as a cowboy. Saddle up, partner. Y'all ready to mosey on down to Toronto's finest nooks and crannies? These are the top 5 neighborhoods that'll steal your heart faster than a wild stallion can bolt. Okay. So that's what I mean by, if you tell it to be positive, it's going to be positive. If you tell it to be, so get it in the voice that you want it to be. Okay, start over and rewrite as a hockey mom. Okay, lace up the skates, hockey moms and dads. Toronto's got some rinks that'll have your little stars shining brighter than a Zamboni's lights. Here are the top 5 neighborhoods where pucks drop and dreams take flight. After a tough game, treat your champs to some global cuisine in Kensington Market that'll fuel them up for the next face-off. From pad thai to tacos, it's a taste adventure. Step into the history books between games. So this is what I mean by, depending on what you want your voice to reflect, that's how it'll be. Now, do I have a volunteer in the audience and all I need you to do is read and do a thumbs up or type in the chat that speaks another language, any other language. And if you can, just unmute and just say yes and tell me what language. Anybody?
Is Claudia here?
No.
There
Oh,
you go.
okay, Claudia. Okay. Okay. Write this in Spanish. Claudia, can you check that and tell me how accurate it is? Write this in Mandarin. And I've done this with different groups, and I've asked them to check it, and the answer
85%
how
is
much?
good.
What?
Around 85%.
Yeah. So thank you, Claudia. So that's basically what everybody says, between 90 and 95% accurate, like a few little nuances, right? In Farsi. So again, I don't know Farsi, but if I was in a marketplace that there are a lot of my potential clients spoke Farsi, I would write this out, get this done, and then have somebody who speaks Farsi, reads and writes Farsi to look at it to make sure it's okay. But this is the beauty of it. This is how fast and quick it can make your work. Okay. So then I just want to see what else I need to cover about ChatGPT. Oh, okay. So the next thing I wanted to show you is we're going to start a new chat. Okay, so this is an article right now that I just pulled up. I just pulled up a random article, okay? And the title of the article is Vancouver and Toronto is no longer in bubble risk territory. Okay, that's what it's saying. So what I'm going to do is highlight this article. Okay. I don't want to highlight it that much. Okay. And then I'm going to copy it into ChatGPT. But before I do that, I'm going to say, read this article for me and summarize it. Okay, so it summarized it, and then I'm going to say too long. Summarize it even shorter. Okay, so Vancouver and Toronto's real estate markets have shifted from a housing bubble risk to being overvalued, according to the UBS Global Real Estate Bubble Index for 2023. This change is due to declining house prices, inflation-driven income growth, and higher mortgage rates. Despite price corrections, demand for housing is rising in these cities. Inflation has reduced bubble risk globally, but affordability remains a challenge. So the beauty of ChatGPT, and when you get to the next level of doing plugins and stuff, you can actually just copy and paste sometimes the links instead of having to copy and paste the whole article. But if you can't do that, then copy and paste the whole article and have it summarize it for you. So that's the other thing that it will do, is it'll take an article like this and help summarize it so that you don't have to read the whole thing. Okay, great. Now write me 5 social media posts from this article about the state of housing in Toronto. Toronto's housing market takes a turn according to the latest UBS global real estate bubble index. The city is no longer in a housing bubble risk category, but it's now considered overvalued. Find out what's driving this change, right? So it even gives you a call to action for your social media post. Okay. So I'm just going to go to the chat. Connie, do you think the free version that has us, I do not, a free version automatically? I don't know. Check with the free version. So I would say, so listen, the free version, you should be able to do this on the free version because I'm doing it on 3.5. If it doesn't do it, I would disconnect and start again because there have been so many updates to GPT. Oh, and Terry's saying I used the free version and it allowed her to do this. Yeah, you have to click on to get to those custom instructions. You have to click on the 3 dots. This is great. I've used ChatGPT before, but not to this extent. Love it. Spanish. Claudia says it's great. It does. I misunderstood what had the paid version. Okay, awesome. So I think we've answered all the questions on this. And look, even if, so it's giving me 5 headlines for this. Make the headlines shorter with a direct call to action. Okay, so if you just want like headlines that, you know, this is what you're going to put in your Instagram or whatever, post the visual, and then you get, when they get into it, your captions actually have the other parts, then it's got it for you. Real estate, Toronto real estate shift, act now. Toronto housing change, get informed. Toronto home prices drop, learn more. So it's just creating a lot of information for you without you having to create it yourself. Okay, so let's see. We're okay, so we have 2 more to go. I apologize, we're already at 2 o'clock, so I'll try and go really quick. The first one I want to show you is an app called reimaginehome.com. So Reimagine Home, the way you use Reimagine Home is basically, this is like a box brownie, right? So you use Reimagine Home to replace things, to update them, whatnot. Now, there is a free version where you're going to have watermarks across it, which I'm going to show you. Or for 10 downloads, you're paying $19 US, so $1.90 a download. So it's not unreasonable or expensive. I think Reimagine Home is not bad. It's getting more better and better. There's 1 million registered users and 8 million designs already done. So it's definitely popular. So what it does is basically you upload an image, you highlight what you want changed, and then you ask it to change it. So what you can see here is like for this, they had nothing in their yard and they created different backyard visuals. This, they had a bedroom that they wanted changed, and then it gave it different versions. So these are all the different options, examples. So I'm going to show you a design from, well, I could show you my history actually. So this is a image of a property I had listed in Toronto, and then I asked it to redesign it, and this is what it did. And you know, it highlights what you're going to redesign, and then it does different things. So I'm going to go back and actually show you, start designing. So I'm going to upload an image. Reimagine. So this is the image that I used, right? So continue. but I want to show you how you can use this tool. And by the way, the image that it's going to produce, it's going to have watermarks on it and you can use it for free. But if you like it enough that you want to, actually use it, then you can pay the nominal cost to get it done for free. So I could either do surprise me or I could go to advanced options, right? So advanced options, what it's doing is it's highlighting the things that's going to change for me in this room. Okay. Now, living room, family room, lounge. Yep, that's right. What do I want to pick? Let's do French country. Okay. And these are the color options. Let's do champagne. No, I think there's already light orange, blush, and gray. I was just trying to pick colors that weren't already in there. So while I'm waiting, it's showing me before and afters of bedrooms, and other things that they've done. So again, this is free unless you want to actually thing. And so this is the image that I had. And then these are the different options. So especially if you have something like an estate sale or somewhere where the stuff is not great, or if it's just a few pieces that you want to change out, one, you can try, this is Reimagine a Home, which is like specific to real estate. I think the magic edit in Canva could probably do this too. I just don't know how good it is with real estate right now, whereas this is specific to real estate. So that's reimaginehome.ai. And then I'm going to show you one more thing, but before, I know some of you have to go. So if you want the recording for this, I'm just going to put my contact info. So there's two things that I'm going to put in here. First, I'm going to have my contact info. So if you want a recording or I also have some ChatGPT prompts, just fill out the Google form and I'll send it off to you by the end of the week. I'm also going to have a Gamma link in there. Gamma is the next tool I'm going to show you. It's for presentations. This is my affiliate link. And what it does with Gamma is it just gives me more credits, which will allow me to show you guys presentations. That's what I use Gamma for. So let me just go into the chat and put all this information in for you guys. Okay, so the Google form is for the recording and the prompt sheets by the end of the week, and then the Gamma link. So let me just go to Gamma right now so that we can finish off. So let me stop sharing and pull up Gamma. Give me 1 second. And okay, so the last tool I'm going to show you is called Gamma. Okay. So you get into it by gamma.app, okay? So this whole presentation that I was showing you was done on gamma.app. So it is very much like Magic Write on Canva, but the visuals are so much nicer. So these are all the things that it's created for me. And most of these are when I've been doing these presentations and I tell it to create me like selling your home. I asked it to write me a seller deck. So all I said was write me a seller deck, and then it spit out this in seconds. Okay, so I'm going to tell it to create me a create new AI. Okay. So you can either put in notes and ask it, like you can like let's say you were working on a presentation with ChatGPT and you had a presentation all ready to go. You would put the text into Gamma and then it would generate a design for you. Or you can have it design something right from scratch. right? So what do you want to do? I'm your AI partner. What would you like to create? A presentation, a document, or a web page? So we're going to do a presentation. Okay. So now it says, sounds good. What would you like your presentation to be about? And these are some suggestions. So what I'm going to do is I've already written out some stuff that I'm just going to copy and paste that I'll show all of you. Oops, this is not what I wanted. Gamma. Okay, so I'm a real estate agent in Toronto. I would like you to create me a buyer presentation that I would like to go through with my buyers when I first meet them. It should go through the process and set expectations for them. Okay, so that's the instructions I'm giving it. And while it's working, I should say that I'm not a real estate agent in Toronto. I'm a manager of office for Remax Hallmark, but I put in real estate agent in Toronto just so because I know most of you are agents and I want to show you what you can do specifically. Okay, so it's come up with this outline for me. And if you like the outline, you can keep it. If you don't like the outline, you would edit it. So introduction, brief overview of myself and my experience, the home buying process, step-by-step outline of the home buying process, explanation of my role as an agent, expectations, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so now you probably will edit this when you're doing it yourself, but let's go here. Okay, so now it's saying, can you pick a theme? And this is where it's so much better than Canva. So let's pick, I don't know, this theme here. So this is the preview. So I like this. But you can pick any theme you want. So remember what I put in, right? I put in, I'm a real estate agent from Toronto. This is for my buyers. And now, if I made that much more specific and I said, I want you to include this and this and this, it would also do this presentation for me with all that information. But it's just created this by doing this. So welcome to the Toronto home buying process. It picked out a Toronto image for me. The introduction, initial consultation, home search, making offers, closing the deal, expectation from me, from you, market trends, property search, financing options, closing process, conclusion. Okay, so this is where I just think this is one tool where it makes you a beautiful presentation by me putting in, I don't know, 5 sentences. But there's other tools that are going to be out there. And my guess is that Canva is their new Magic Write is going to have stuff like this incorporated in it. Because I can tell you right now, if you look up Toronto in Canva, there is a gazillion pictures, especially for the paid version, but even for the free version. So I think Canva's going to come out with this, but I just wanted to show you what AI can do for you. Like, how long would it have taken you to create this presentation yourself to make it look as nice as this with, you know, this kind of.
Honey, what does Gamma cost?
What's that? Gamma's
This-
free. Sorry. So I should have, so here. So right now, I put a link in for Gamma. That link will give you some credits to work on to work in Gamma. And then from there you can so it'll allow you to basically use it for free. And then there is a free version where you get credits, right? Up to 400 credits, which I think 400 credits might be one presentation, maybe maybe 2. I'm not 100% sure, but that's yearly. This is monthly. But even if you get it for a month, it's $10, right? And the difference between what I have and the $10, quite honestly, is the PDF export and the PowerPoint export. So right now what I'm using is all credits because basically every time one of you hits my link, I get more credits, but my credits are basically free version credits. Instead of getting 4,000, I have 400. I have free versions, but once I get this, I could download it. Nick, you had a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think just to add to the plans, I did the pro because I found if you want to stick with the Remax themed fonts and colors that they have, especially if like the Miller display from Remax collection, Canva doesn't have it, but you can upload as a custom font if you have the pro, and they also have the template. So when I do the design, all the Remax color is always saved, and can just click on that instead of going back and look for the code.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, good for you, Nick. Thank you for sharing. Okay, and Canva was the last thing that I was going to be, or Gamma was the last thing. So that is gamma.app. And like I said, in the chat, I did provide the link. The Gamma link is where you can, that's my affiliate code for the Gamma, where you'll get those free credits. And then the other one is the Google Forms sheet, where for the recording and things like that. And that is it, my friends. Does anybody have any other questions or anything like that?
Were we gonna go over Reimagine Home, or did I miss it?
You missed Reimagine Home, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Reimagine Home is pretty straightforward, Rhonda, and I could take you through it later if you need, but just go into it and you'll see exactly what it does. And it doesn't cost any money if you want to try it out with just a image with watermarks on it. But if you want to actually keep the image that you have created, then you have to pay, and it's still reasonable. It's like $20 for 10 images. So
Connie, you haven't found anything yet that you can add things to, like the Reimagine one. If you wanted to do, say, a whole wall of cabinets in a kitchen or something, like almost like a design tool in that way, have you found anything for that?
I
That's
have
better
not.
than like the Lowe's ones, because those are really clunky.
So there are definitely tools like that out there, but I have not found ones that are easy to use yet.
Okay.
So I found stuff even when I was redesigning my own house, like even Benjamin Moore and all of those companies have stuff, but it's not great yet. Now there probably is something out there, but when I say there's thousands of tools available right now for AI, there is. So I just haven't found it, but if anybody has one, then I would highly encourage you to share, because, you know, or let me know and I will share, because that's what I'm doing with these classes, is just like spreading the word and then going from there. Let me see. Okay, so like I said, with my objective today was that I was hoping that all of you learned something and felt like you got value. So if you did, put a thumbs up, because I'm going to take a picture. Okay. Yay. So thank you for being here. It really, it means a lot that there were so many of you today. And like I said, if you want those, just fill out the Google form and we'll send off the recording. But other than that, everybody go and crush your day and use some AI. Remember, it's all just about being comfortable with it, because eventually it's going to become second nature to you. But now at least you can talk about it. You understand AI, you understand it's more than just ChatGPT, which is what a lot of people think. Americans, you can use Google Bard, which is just as good. We can't in Canada yet. And Americans can also use Claude, which is another ChatGPT version. So there's lots of tools for all of you. So check it out and then let me know if you have any feedback for version 2, or even for this version. Let me know, because I will do this version once or twice more. Oh, and by the way, we as real estate agents are way ahead of the curve. Only 16% of the population is using AI right now. So we are definitely way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, most of the people I talk to have not even heard of it.
Yeah.
They don't even know what ChatGPT is.
Yeah. And not 100% sure where the value is. So, and listen, we didn't even get into this, but I planned my whole trip to Spain using ChatGPT. You know, asking it for ideas. I asked it, like, we were in Costa Brava, and we were in a small town, and I was like, I want to do a day trip from this town. I want it to be I want the day trip to be 4 hours, and I want to do this, this, and this. What suggestions do you have? It sent me thing. If you ask it to make you a meal plan for a month, and you tell it exactly how you want it done, it'll do that for you. Like, there's just ways you can make your life easier by asking it to do things. This was focused on real estate, but there's all other ways that you can use these tools in different ways. Okay.
Ask for the recipes too. If you do the meal plan, it'll give it to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can just keep going deeper and deeper, right? And once you get it linked up with the internet, I'm sure you can get a shopping list out of it, So this is where it's heading. So the fact that you're starting to use it now and getting comfortable with it, when it gets to that next level, you guys will be way ahead of the curve. So, all right, guys. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks, Connie.
No problem. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
Okay.
Thank you.